Yeah. Makes for action-packed shows, man. Cash is in. Cash Patel at the FBI. Yeah, there seems to be an acceleration of history as I've been pointing out, you know? Like COVID, it seemed like there was not like the COVID was the only thing that happened. And then everybody forgot about it basically. Like if you went up to somebody on the street and was like, "Hey, what'd you do for lockdown?" You know, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Like, that's a weird question." You know, and whereas like if you ask them like, "Oh, like didn't you go on vacation to like France a few years ago?" and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, it was so awesome." Like, and you'd be like you if you ask somebody about like a 2 week experience that happened to them in the last 10 years, they'd love to tell you about it,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if like you suddenly bring up like lockdown, they're like, "Oh, yeah, what are you? Yeah, why are you bringing it up? Like that's a little strange."
Exactly. Yeah,
You know?
like that was.
Maybe like it's a little bit of trauma or something like that. But
We still occasionally, like in the store, we'll get people who will come in and they'll like, yeah, sorry, I couldn't bring my ring in for an inspection for the past 5 years because of COVID. And like for a little while, we were
are they
just
like
like, yeah,
old?
sometimes they're old, sometimes they just don't care. Which I get, like life happens, but like if we don't see you for a little bit and you're in communication with us, we don't give a shit. But like if I don't see you for years and you come in and your ring is just encrusted with bullshit and just like fucked up, and you're like, oh sorry, COVID, and I'm just like, listen, I was legally allowed to stop caring about that and like beginning at 22, so that's just not going to work on me anymore. Sorry, you're going to have to pay for this. But no, like it's people are either like what you said, or they're still using. There's a very small part of the population still using it as a crutch. Excuse me. Like they're still like, oh, I'm not. Nobody in the car I'm traveling in is using proper filters or masks, so I'm not really feeling good. It's like, dude.
There's like undergrads in college
Mm-hmm.
who are still masking
Yeah.
like 24/7. You know, and I'm just like, or I mean, maybe there's a chance you have leukemia, but not for the last 4 or 5 years. Like you would have.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. It's
I've noticed too, like out here at least, like the only people who still kind of mask up are like usually Mexicans or just Hispanics in general. They love wearing masks.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
just throwing
Um,
that out there. I don't get it either, but it's usually if I see a guy wearing a mask, he's like Mexican or whatever, which
well,
is it's fine. But
usually, like I remember but pre-COVID, right? Like masks was always like little Asian lady thing,
mhm,
right? Like wearing like a not even an N95, but wearing like a surgical mask in public,
mhm,
like it's generally like that would be the only demo you would ever see doing that.
mhm,
And then now it's like, oh, I have a cold or something like that. Like,
mhm.
I okay, maybe, yeah, I kind of appreciate you not directly coughing and sneezing on me.
Yeah,
Like,
like I do kind of get that.
I
Like
don't,
it's
okay.
risky because like you're not like it's bad to kind of have a mask on for an extended period while you're sick, but like no, it's courteous.
Oh, dude, like, I still see like, I don't know if they're Uber Eats drivers and shit like that, or just
Mhm,
regular Uber drivers or Lyft drivers. Um, but I mean, like they are like
mhm.
burrito cab company people because like they have the little thing in
Yeah,
there. Um, but like they're almost always masked, which I don't get. Like I'm like, dude, you're dropping off food at somebody's door. What do you
yeah.
like? Why do you need them? You're picking up food from like a designated like shelf where you're not even interacting with like the wait staff at the restaurant.
You're not delivering vials of penicillin to like a hospital infected with plague victims. Like you're
You're,
not Balto, my guy.
yeah, you're not.
Speaking of dogs, dude, I don't know if the microphone just picked that shit up. It sounded like my neighbor's dogs were just getting like beat with a stick. Like not really, actually. Like they're just yelping for some fucking reason.
You know, dogs have like two modes, which is like angry bark and then like I'm upset bark, which
Yeah.
like the I'm upset because I'm getting beaten and I'm upset because like I haven't been fed on time and you're like holding the food in a bowl that hasn't been set down yet, which is completely possible to sound like almost the same thing.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean,
With like a poorly trained dog will like yelp, you know.
I'll reserve comment on my neighbor's dogs. They're only as good as the owner, I guess.
Um yeah, everybody could say that,
Yeah.
couldn't they?
Yeah. All right. I think it's time we kick it over into the main show. I'm gonna do the intro and get this thing rolling. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 166 of The Altar. It is Thursday the 20th, and so this episode is titled Thursday the 20th because why the fuck not? Tonight, wow, what impeccable timing, kicking into the call right as I am doing the intro. It is Matt, aka Moonlit Altar, and we've got Max, aka Encaparado, and myself, Ben, aka Based Heisenberg, and here we are. So, Matt, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I got the kids are down.
Excellent.
I have beer.
Nice.
Ready to party. It's been a long week of me.
What is that? Prost? Is that Prost Brewing?
Oh, this is Goose Island.
Oh, Goose Island. Okay,
Full
your
pot-
hand
a
was
full
covering
pocket
the side of it.
Pilsner.
I saw the P. You just gave me
Yeah,
a little P,
I got
and I didn't know.
about 30 minutes, and then we'll watch something with the wife. It's been crazy times. Blocking people's access to their porn and their computers.
Hell yeah, yeah, fighting the good fight.
Sending remote restart commands to people watching porn on the clock is like the most hilarious thing I've ever done in my life.
It's
like, oh, yeah.
I can't believe that there are people who in 2025 are dumb enough to use work computers to access that shit. Like you shouldn't in the first place, but to do it on that, like they're watching you, man.
It's like, with the funniest thing is that one of these dudes I literally told, I'm like, oh yeah, like our software, like we have a little preview of your screen. He's like, oh, it's pretty cool. It was like 2 months ago.
Oh god.
I watched it, like, oh, like this big oh, come on, my internet again?
Yeah, it's
you're pretty chunky, my man's.
Yeah, oh, there it goes. Okay. Well,
Where does this dude live in the fucking backwoods? Like, get some Starlink. Starlink works fine, man.
It's amazing if you think about it too. Like, he's moved houses a couple times in like the past 5 or 7 years, and like just nowhere with functioning internet. It seems.
Yeah, it's never gonna happen, bro.
I guess no. You just
I'm always in a bad spot.
You got to stay remote
if
enough.
Only
I guess
Kamala Harris had done her job and given you high-speed broadband.
Seriously, yeah.
Well, it's like I always pick the worst spot in the house to do it. That's what we're That's what I do.
Well, it also doesn't help that like every house you move into apparently is like a Faraday cage.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it's so I was over in one, like literally the one end of the house, which is the furthest away from the modem. I have a extender right here. It's still like there's a bunch of shit between the extender and where I was just at. So now I'm like central location should be good. I would be up in my room, but all the kids are upstairs just sleeping, and I mean, I guess I could be loud and racist up there. Whatever, it's fine. It's okay.
You can be loud
the
and
power line
racist.
extenders, in my experience, work pretty well, especially when you do an Ethernet connection on them. But
Yeah, my end game is like hardwire like everything in this house when we do some renovations and shit.
yeah,
And
yeah.
get the mess set up. I was like, yo, baby, what can I get like a server rack in this house? And she was like, I'll murder you. And I was like, all right, cool, that's fine.
Just put it in
At
the
least I
attic,
have a
man.
server rack.
You'll
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
Honestly, put it in the utility room and just put some cladding on it so it looks like like the hot gas furnace or whatever. She'll never know.
Yeah, even super hot. So, anyways, what's going on in the world? I heard about some bus explosions in our favorite nation, Israel.
Oh, that be happening all the time.
Wait,
I also saw
I
that.
haven't followed this Israel situation that closely for the last I hate to admit 6 months.
Yeah,
I
like
was
I
just
Oh
just
no, there's something like
every
it was
every
like
day
I
there's
guess
just a new
the
headline
top
of
story within the past couple hours was 3 buses exploded in Israel in
oh.
suspecting terror attack. I wonder who'd be behind that.
Hmm.
Israel.
Hmm.
It's like I
Hmm.
wonder.
Who
Wonder who it
benefits
could
the
be.
most? Hmm. Hmm.
Interesting, indeed,
Hmm.
indeed.
oh no, the ceasefire can't continue. Oh no.
Oh no! Oh no! I guess we'll have to start that up.
It's
It's a
ready to
good
go.
thing they just got another $1 billion from us.
It's crazy how that works.
Crazy how that works. I'm so glad Doge was able to find that $1 billion and all that waste and just immediately send that shit to Israel.
Yeah. Where's my $5,000, dude?
Yeah, seriously, fuck.
But, you know,
So Matt, I take it you
it's
saw
like
the other Delta flight that crashed again.
women, bro.
Dude,
The
seriously.
problem.
So
Of
it
America.
was actually a small regional airline that is piloted and crewed apparently by all women. Like both pilots are women, all of the crew is women. They tried
Saw a few of
to,
those dude. Yeah. They
yeah,
do it.
no, they were trying to do a landing on a runway that I guess was like not great. Like it had snow on it, and apparently there's like some shit about how like ATC told her to not land. Like she had to wait, and like didn't want to wait, so just landed. Which I don't think you can just do. Like you can't just ignore
Clearly.
commands from ATC.
Clearly. It's crazy how it's like she
Well,
flipped that shit and says can't help being a Gemini. You know what I mean?
Yeah, ATC to Delta
it's like
5. Is everything
so
okay over there? Everything is fine, ATC. ATC to Delta, are you sure? I don't want to talk about it. Sorry, Max, what were you going to say?
Watch you.
just the thing is like my girlfriend isn't even like a fully licensed pilot, but she's like basically like almost all the way there, and she knows more about like landing a plane than like apparently these people do.
Apparently,
Like,
yeah.
like,
I mean
so
that, and then you also
frustrating.
have that Black Hawk helicopter that crashed into that other regional jet a couple of weeks ago, and like it's just a bad time to be like a professional female pilot.
I kind of get if you like your altimeter's bad,
Yeah.
right? And your instruments are bad, which is like a thing that's been happening. Like the maintenance on these aircraft has been like in the shitter
Mm-hmm.
for sure. And then like I don't want to say ATC. Well, they fired all the like recent employees, but they're not like they are technically understaffed.
Mm.
I guess is the thing. But yeah, it's just it. You think you'd be able to? Or I think it's more difficult than you imagine to look out the window and be like, I don't know if I'm 200 to 300 feet or maybe 400 feet off the ground. Like anytime you're more than like 100 feet off the ground, like it feels like a lot. Your
No, that's
brain's not
fair.
really used to those distances.
Mm.
I don't think it matters if you're a woman or a man on that thing.
Oh
But
no, for sure. No, it does not matter. But I
but
get
the statistic I looked up is that globally women make up 4 to 6% of airline pilots. In the United States, that's 4.9%. So it's statistically unlikely that, or I guess it's like, okay, a 1 in 20 chance that if a plane were to crash, that a woman would be piloting it. But it just, it's odd that it happened twice
yeah,
in
no,
a few months.
like it is statistically rare. It's just like you said, it's odd that something so statistically rare happens twice within the span of a month.
Again, like, I've been in like or like my girlfriend flies planes like and can fly a plane and land a plane like that was probably a difficult landing, but I would actually trust my girlfriend to land that plane. Like I would be okay with it. Like it's if she had to, like both pilots had a stroke or something. I don't know.
Just came in a little too hot. Just
Yeah, no, they like slammed, man.
They did.
Which is that maybe there was like bad wind, which is like listen to fucking ATC when they're telling you.
Yeah,
like,
ATC's like, hey, no, come around the other way. Come in this direction. It's better. Nah, I got this.
Well, that's where I wonder. Like there's like they say, oh, there's less war when like women are in charge, but like if you look historically, like women start more wars. Like female monarchs and presidents and everything start more wars or engage in more warfare than males on average or per capita or whatever, if you want to look at like numbers ruled. And it's because they have like they have this like macho factor where they have to make up for the fact that they're women. And like if they're pursuing, especially if they're like have pursued or like are in that environment where they feel like they have to constantly prove themselves, they take unnecessary risks. Is the thing that comes out from the stats. So like I could see that psychologically getting to them, the pilot, where they're like, oh, ATC's telling me like it's not a safe landing, but they wouldn't tell that to a man.
Yeah, exactly.
Like maybe that's a subconscious thing. It might not even be a conscious thing for that pilot. I again, it's just weird.
No, that's fair enough. But I appreciate Death Gelada's comment where I was like, oh, just happening this often, this in this month span, and Death Gelada goes, which could mean nothing.
Could totally mean nothing.
Yeah, just happens. Okay, so what else? Oh, we had all the confirmations. I mean, in the past 2 weeks, we had RFK Jr. getting confirmed as head of HHS. We got Mr. Open Bob getting confirmed as head of the FBI. What else? Tulsi Gabbard got confirmed as like head of intelligence or something like that.
Director of National Intelligence.
Director of National Intelligence. It just feels like everyone's like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if this person was like in this field? And they're just like, all right, fuck it. And they just like throw him in there.
I like how like everyone like the whole Doge department or whatever, Department of Government Efficiency, like everyone freaking out about it. Like, dude, this is like terrible. Like it's gonna bite you in your ass. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I'm getting bit in the ass either way.
Exactly.
I don't fucking care what happens.
It's also it's like, oh, this is destabilizing the government. It's like good. Destabilize
Let me
the government.
fucking laugh about
Let's
it.
laugh. Let's laugh as the government falls to pieces. This is what we want.
One of my friends on Facebook said some shit like a couple of weeks ago. He's like lefty who's like just got into politics recently. I'm like, he's like, it's gonna bite you in the ass. He's like, this is just in the face of the Constitution, you guys. Like, I'm like, this just proves that the Constitution is complete fucking garbage. I'm like, are you cherry picking that? Like, either you like the Constitution now? Because your ass was just talking about like that, like it's like the circular fucking all the time.
Just flip flopping positions. The Democrats are now pretending to care about the Constitution, and Republicans suddenly don't have a problem with government encroachment.
It's like, oh, the rule of law. I was like, oh, like you should respect, whatever. I'm like, oh, like you guys respected Roe v. Wade being overturned. Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks.
What do you mean? Like you can't just rely on like judicial action to create a right? Like if it's not inherent, the government can just take away whatever it decides to arbitrarily give you. That's crazy to suggest that.
Look, if Congress just operates by passing a continuing resolution for 20 years in a row, like the judiciary can just make up whatever they want to be regulations. That's totally normal.
That's totally fine. Judicial activism is great.
I support Trump because he's gonna fuck everything up more quickly and efficiently in these next 4 years that there's really no hope of recovery. And we're going to get our accelerationism.
Exactly.
I think is the terminology.
You're accelerationist.
So there you go.
Also, is that like a dueling tree that you just showed for like Nerf guns? Like, what was that?
Yeah, this is the family
That's
room.
A Texas Star for Nerf.
Man. That's actually kind of cool.
Oh, dude. Yeah, dude. It spins and shit. It's actually kind of cool. It's like you just fucking turn it on.
Wow. Start your kids early. Yeah. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Also, what's more awesome is under my modem is my Plex server. where I can get my shows
Your shows
for
that
free.
you stream legally,
Totally legally, dude.
totally
Because I
legal.
have to add one later.
Mm.
Yeah, gotta clean up there. Yeah, no, this is the toy room. It's like I originally envisioned my desk being here
Mm.
and podcasting from here. My wife's like, no, I want our desks to be matching and upstairs in my room. Like, that's like the worst fucking idea I've ever heard in my life.
Matchies, matchies
And she
is
was like, good.
nice.
Dude, Joe was up to the other day because I'm like, you got clicky clackety keyboard. I'm up there fucking coding some shit, whatever. Like, blowing off. She's like, oh my god, it's so loud. I'm like, what do you want me to get? Soft keys? No, a bitch. Louder the
Exactly.
better. I want to feel it.
You need that
Feel
mechanical
it.
I'm a
feeling when you're
hacker,
just calling
babe.
someone a faggot.
I'm getting into the meme database at Area 51.
I'm in.
Yeah. I'm writing a Python script to call you gay and I'm labeling it "Hello World."
Yeah. Hello, fag.
So good, dude. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean,
What other interesting stuff? It's only been
there's of course like I'll believe it when I see it, but I suppose I said that about Ross Ulbricht too. But like they're talking about dismantling the IRS and shit. Like Doge, I guess, is going after the IRS, which I don't really see that happening, but it'd be nice to see some IRS
arguably the
agents
funniest thing.
lose their jobs. I'd be down for that. IRS agents getting fired.
That'd be
I
funny.
think. Yeah.
It would be pretty Gucci game 5,000. I want to see how it goes. Well, I like hearing the stuff like, what was the fucking shit earlier? People like, oh my god, like I'm like they cut like all these veterans or whatever. Like, oh, they cut me, like, they fired me and stuff, like park ranger or something, like someone's water. Like, bro, fuck you. You're, like, get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get it. Well, it's like, what do they even? I'm just trying to determine, like, because I've been like keeping up. I've been incredibly busy with multiple things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is even the point? Like, you just cut everything. Just cut it all. Like, where does the logic? Is it just because of like a little bit here and there, or is it? Because I would fire every park ranger because I'm like, what's your purpose?
Just
Look at the
clean them all out.
trees.
I think park service rangers should be armed and
Yes.
allowed to do judge dread executions on people who litter.
Actually, I'm
I think
totally
that
for
is
this.
100%.
I think you would significantly improve America if you did that.
Your crime: stacking stones in a pile in a river. Punishment:
I'm
1 year
thinking
ISO
more
cube.
of people who like fucking just throw wrappers out the window in the
Oh
middle
yeah.
of a fucking Teton National Park or Yellowstone or shit like that.
Immediate
'Cause
execution.
yeah,
Ooh,
I
Desperado says apparently a few thousand probationary IRS employees are getting let go. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that was the other thing. Like, oh yeah, like if you filed your taxes early and expect, like don't expect it to get it in a timely fashion. Like, I literally don't care
I filed my
because I filed.
taxes like last week, and I'm already getting them like right now. They're pending in my bank
I
account. Like it's
it's pretty
because
automated
I
at a
have
certain point. That should be the
because
function of Dodge, is to
I have a
automate
child
like our
army,
tax
so
returns, right?
they don't process mine. They'll probably start processing it soon,
oh,
but they don't
that's
start
right.
I
processing your kids
I have
one
a bunch
until the
of
15th.
like 1099 income that they like never give me the documents for until the 15th. So like I haven't even been like physically able to file my taxes till, like a few days ago.
Dude, it's fucking jamming right.
I was gonna say Matt needs to got to get all of those baby daddy credits to process.
Yeah, I'm getting. How much am I getting back? I think like 9,500.
Oh, that's nice.
Well,
Dude,
no, it's
how are
like
you overpaying that much? You need to do your deductions a little
Yeah,
better or
man. Like,
no,
something.
well, because the thing, no, now I've adjusted it this year because last year was fucking weird as shit because I worked like three different jobs, right? Like, I
Okay.
transferred from one to the other and then to the one I'm at now. So
okay.
it's like I hopped around. So I was like, I'm not fucking. I'm not playing the game. I'm not like, but this year I already did like the calculations of what to do. So it's like probably be like 100 or something.
Mhm.
I mean, I get like 8 grand, like 8 grand because of the kids, and then uh, 'cause of, like, when I went to college, I got the student loan. Like, I got a couple hundred for whatever that.
Oh,
I get money back because I pay for daycare. which is you gotta pay for daycare, so I get some money back there.
You're just getting
And then like
subsidized
interest.
to breed, man. Like
Yeah,
that's
dude.
what this is.
I
Just
mean,
pumping out the kids.
without condoning or condemning, I understand. That's what I say to the African American community.
Mm-hmm. I'm one of you.
It's like, what are you right? Well, I'm still here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Let that one
can I
simmer for a
share
sec.
maybe a little bit of anecdotes about Doge cuts coming to academia?
Please.
Oh, please, for fucking yeah.
Um, people are freaked the fuck out. It is absolutely pandemonium and in most places. Now the thing is that like Doge seems to
Yes.
be targeting, or like the cuts were very targeted, focused on like DEI woke things. But what they did is they released like, okay, we're going to suspend funding on all grants that happen to include the word like bias, because it's also included in like gender bias or something like that, or um like women and stuff like that. So like if you're doing a health study on like sex differences between men and women on like a certain drug, like you lost your federal grant funding that like you could have been like 6 months through. So
Ugh.
like people are like, well that's kind of fucked up. That's not like that's not necessarily DEI to like have that, but like literally like everybody got an email that was like, oh, if you're writing NSF grants, you cannot include the word woman or it will get rejected automatically.
Excellent.
Uh, which is
As it should
like
be.
you're trying to do basic research though, like on like
I saw some.
medical or
I saw
chemistry
some.
or something like that.
I saw some Twitter post or whatever where it was like a bunch of like government employees like, so I thought they were going after a race, not gender. When a bunch of women got laid off, I was like, I got it. If that's true though, based. I was like, I would find that even more funny if a bunch of women, right wing women,
Mhm.
thought that DEI only meant race was getting snipped out and not women. Like, nope, cutting slack, dude. Cutting the
Mhm.
weakest links, getting off.
Yeah,
Oh, what's going on?
but no, it's dire times because a lot of universities, even if they are like publicly funded from the state or something like that, or tuition or whatever, they they collect grants and stuff like that, and they distribute it. Some of that percentage is fringe for like upkeep on like accountants and all the admin people like that. So like you're looking at like major cuts to like the, I wouldn't say like the um operating budget necessarily, but it's like the staffing admin budgets of these universities and things like that, and also like the stipends for these professors and stuff like that. But there's some really weird stuff where they obviously just controlled F'd and then
I
we're
was
like,
gonna say, like somebody's like, just control F bias and just ban everything that hits.
well, it's like you could be writing a fucking like astrophysics article about like, magnetic biases, magnetic bias in like quasars, which is like a totally valid,
Mhm.
like hard science NSF grant that somebody would write, that like the Trump team's nominally not going after, but because it has the word bias in it,
They just looked
like it
at.
would trip. Like anybody who's doing any statistical analysis will use the word bias in at some point in their thing. So it's like a sledgehammer on this stuff. Even in nominally right wing departments and stuff like that, like the hard sciences departments,
Mhm.
um,
Just
it,
again, I just
it's
want 5 grand.
causing problems.
Give the darky $5,000. Inflation up.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
what?
I'm like, I just want five. I'm going back to, I just want 5 grand. I don't care what's going on with all this bias hammer. Just give me 5 grand. Fuck inflation up, dude. Let's
Just
go.
put those clams back in my hand, man.
Just give them
Okay,
back to me.
Texas, the last few years.
If I want to fund a
Yeah.
study on bias, I will donate to the study privately.
Well, remember
I'm
like
gonna.
last episode we looked up if Crisis was real, and yeah, they're using cephalopods to make active camouflage
They
from the
are.
Department of Defense.
You're based.
Crisis
Very
is real,
based.
man.
Maximum strength.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, I like that. All right, I think it's good because I drop off. 'Cause my wife was like, "Oh, watch something." I'm like, "Well, I'm chatting with the boys for 30 because I haven't done it in a while."
Exactly.
Mm,
Unless I was almost like
thank you
with
for joining us.
Cybersmith.
Yes, Matt, thank you for
Well,
joining
thank you
us,
for
but we
having
do
me, gentlemen.
understand that wife and children are more important than a podcast, so we get it.
Oh,
Reading
bro,
that
really
that
quick before I go,
calamari.
it's funny. But we're having my work is having like a company outing. It's the first thing, and well, like while I was like, yeah, we're down to go meet my wife, and then my oldest son got an invite to a birthday party on the same day, like at like the same chunk of time, like the
Perfect.
first half of it. I was like, oh, it sucks, I can't go.
Oh
My
no.
wife's like, no, like we can't, like you can go, I can't go because like who's gonna take our son? And I was like, well, they should have sent out that RSVP like way sooner. Makes me, Daddy's got to drink. I mean.
Exactly.
What do you got there? You patting your pussy?
Yes, I'm totally patting my pussy on camera right
It's like a look. Yo, man, look,
now.
as a trad calf, I would love to look at you pet your pussy.
Exactly. Yes.
I
No.
like to. No,
As
oh, I'm sorry.
as traditionally Christian men, trad Christians, we should.
Oh
As you
no,
know, I've
actually,
always
no.
been a member of the Knights of
Yeah.
Jerusalem.
Hell yeah, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm leaving that. I am the LARPing foot fetishist. That's what
You
I am.
are. I mean, you clearly don't, like vape your wife's foot sweat or have like her socks
I don't
lay on
even vape
the
anymore.
wall
It's
in the base.
terrible, man.
Oh, that's right. You said you claim to not vape anymore. Yes, I believe you.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen it so far.
Scooby, do you believe
Um,
that Matt doesn't vape anymore?
I already hit it. I would have hit it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen.
Yeah, honestly,
Fun.
yeah,
Talk to you after.
you did it.
So,
Good.
honestly, what?
Oh no, yeah, I noticed that you didn't hit the vape once. I don't know.
Matt,
It's been a
you
minute.
are you
Well,
are to be commended.
I went straight cold turkey, and like the day that I stopped, because I was just like, it's all mental, right? The day I stopped, I'm like, I'm gonna crush 3 to 4 beers just to make it even worse for myself. That's how it goes. So, gentlemen, I'll catch you hopefully next week. Take it easy.
Absolutely. You guys have a yeah. All right, let me give this little bastard some treats here. Down on the floor.
Hey, I was gonna ask for PC gaming, my wired Xbox controller has been like shitting out on me.
Yeah.
Do you like the wireless? What's
So
that controller I see on your
it
desktop
is
right now?
okay, buddy. There you go. It is a wired one. It is the Xbox controller I have had forever. Actually, it's at least at this point 10 years old. It just keeps going. If this one goes, I'll probably get another one. But like it's what I'm.
I don't know why mine only lasted like a few years or something like that. I
Because
think what
it's
happened is I lost the cable and I tried to use a similar one at some point and it wasn't an exact match and it like fucked up the pins that connect it and so it like has to be perfect whenever it connects, otherwise it fucks up. But also the Rumble box like completely destroyed itself because I play
so
a lot of racing sims
I
and
will
like the
say
Rumble
like
box was
this doesn't
like
work.
constantly going. Well,
I
yeah,
don't.
like yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like I don't actually can't recall if this has Rumble on it or not. Like I don't think it does. I think it's like there are models that either don't or like it just doesn't come through on this. Because like I've never really, to be fair, I usually only use it specifically if I'm playing like GTA 5 and like I'm flying because like trying to fly in GTA with like a mouse and keyboard is a pain in the cock.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's why I have the controller for that. Also for like flying segments in other games where the mouse and keyboard's kind of a dick. But like outside of that, normally I'm mouse and keyboard. So
Yeah, I use the controller for, like I said, racing sims because like obviously you cannot fucking do a racing sim steering with like anything like Xbox controller barely cuts it, but like using mouse and keyboard is like you'll kill yourself instantly.
for real.
And then like Shadow of Mordor or something like that. Some games they just play better on a controller,
Yeah.
But
I do
Yeah,
find
I
that
just thought I'd
while
ask. I need to get a new one.
no,
I
I got you.
just
I was
mine's
actually
shit out.
gonna say like there's one game where like I feel like the Red Dead Redemption 2 on the PC is like graphically far superior to like its
Hmm.
PS5 counterpart. However, it feels so much more comfortable playing Red Dead with a controller. Like it was made for a PS5 controller, dude. It's just
I
so yeah.
That's the other thing. I started playing Red Dead 2,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously it's a gorgeous game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little story heavy compared to most games I play,
It is.
but like I felt it like at a certain point. I know it's like the opening of the game,
Mm-hmm.
and like there's like they got a lot of establishing expedition and shit to do, but like at a certain point I felt like it was an interactive movie to a
Yeah,
degree, and I
a
was
little
like,
bit.
I was a little like, okay, like I'm used to Witcher 3 is like pretty top tier as far as having like RPG that
Yeah.
doesn't like bore you to death with cutscenes all the
Well, like
time.
Witcher 3, as soon as you get to like once you get past, you have the initial sequence, and then you have like the little opening thing at White Orchard, and then after that, it cuts you loose. You can just do whatever.
Even in White Orchard, like it is true open map
Yeah,
game, like able
yeah.
to do a lot of like side quests or do random shit and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. I actually makes me want to replay Witcher 3 right
Oh
now.
man.
But
I actually think it's been enough time since the last time I played it that I probably could. Ooh, yeah.
yeah.
I haven't done this. I haven't played Witcher 3 with the 4090 yet. I need to do that. That'll be fun.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. If you they did a
Ooh,
graphics update
they
like
did. I know. Yeah.
last year or two.
Ooh, yeah.
And yeah, actually, that's a good excuse to replay it.
60 FPS, baby. Let's do that. Well,
Yeah,
actually,
I just got a 790 GRE
nice.
graphics card, so just a step down from the top of the line AMD card. I don't know. I'm a hipster. I
No,
bought an AMD card.
yeah, no. I mean, AMD is respectable. It's not like I like Nvidia for what it is, but like AMD has been around just as long almost, and like it does the job. So if it works, it works.
I just always got it because it's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Maybe it's knockoff compared to some stuff. Like
Mhm.
it consumes higher power, but I live where power's fucking cheap. Sorry,
Yeah. Fuck it.
stop
Sorry.
being
Yeah.
poor.
Whatever. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm poor in
Skill
a
issue.
different way.
Skill issue.
Power's cheap, but I don't want to spend a bunch on the card up front.
Hmm. That's just called being thrifty. That's different. I've actually been
Okay.
playing through Kingdom Come 2, which is up to a point has been very fun, but like I've gotten to a point where there's like this like there's essentially two maps in the game. The second map is like later in the story, and there's a significant difficulty spike, and it's just you really need to be able to go back and do side quests at like the first map, but like it won't let me because of some weird story shit. So I find myself kind of stuck and trying to struggle along doing very overpowered side missions that I'm just not cut out to do, and it's like, oh,
Mm.
it's making it tedious. It's making it not fun. And
Uh,
I guess
See,
we'll
I
see.
hate. Yeah, like game makers need to consider like I'm like the different play styles where it's like maybe the first time I play the game, I just play the main story
Mm-hmm.
and like I don't need to max level my character every fucking time I get to a new, you know, plot point
Exactly.
in
Or
the story.
if it could at least tell you, like, hey, listen, you're only level such and such. You should be a minimum of this, like as a gauge going forward. It
Right.
doesn't. It doesn't really do that. So there's also a lot where like there's some
Witcher
segments
does
where
that. Like Project CD Red like lets you know like,
yeah.
hey, this is a more difficult mission.
Well,
Like
like
you should
every
trim back.
mission has like a level to it, like level 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever. If you do new game +2, it scales with you. Like it lets you know exactly what you're getting into. But this does not really, and it's a little frustrating because like the game is very like critically acclaimed everywhere. It's like it is fun. The story is interesting. Like it's deep. It's the graphics are nice. But if you would have waited 6 months and just done a little more playtesting and some bug fixing and shit like that, it would have gone a long way because like and also in addition to like all of the like the little difficulty I've been having, I have not had a game crash on me this much in a long time. Specifically, this is the first game that has actually caused my entire computer to crash. Not just crash to
Oh,
desktop, like it blue screened on me because of this game. And I was like, wow, I forgot what the
That
blue
has not
screen
happened to
is.
me since fucking like 2006.
Yeah, man, like that's just like I'd say, you play some games, you mod heavy, there's a little graphics error, you get a blue screen. Through the 2000s, early 2010s, you get used to that, but like no, recently I can't remember the last time that happened. Like legitimately, and
Triple A optimization has been bad lately, but it's not been like crash my computer to blue screen bad.
yeah.
Like I got the EA WRC game that came out in maybe it was 23 or something like that. And it's very poorly optimized for computers. Like essentially I need to my CPU is kind of old at this point. Like I need to get a new CPU to play newer games at a certain level because it's like a 2017 unit. I'm surprised I'm still running on it like 8 years later.
Dude, I
But
was running a NVIDIA, I think it was a 1080 something up until like the last 2 years, and it was doing its job, but it was cooking. Like it was getting fucking hot.
like the optimization where like I can't even play in like 720p like I'm playing like Sega like arcade racer on this fucking game. Like that's ridiculous. Like that I can't even like turn all the settings down and play it like it's an N64 game with like slightly better physics or something like that. That's ridiculous that they can't optimize to make that happen. But it's just constant stuttering and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, you just need a CPU that has fucking like 16 cores to make this happen. I'm like, what? Fuck you, come on.
That was the other thing I was thinking of, like, is my computer the issue with some of this? I'm just like, no, it's like, admittedly, I'm that guy. Like I have an Intel, it's an i9 13900KF. Like I have 64 gigs of RAM. Like I threw stupid amounts of money into this because I just didn't want to have to upgrade it forever. But it's frustrating when even that, like this thing, which runs everything at like a smooth 60 FPS minimum, can't handle a game using an engine that's like several years old at this point. The original Kingdom Come came out in like 2000. Let me look this up. Jamie, pull that up.
Yep, go ahead. I think the AAA optimization.
Oh my god, that's so annoying. I don't know what the fuck is doing it, but like sometimes fucking Streamlabs will just kick over to the intro video. It's so annoying.
Okay, we're back. I see it.
So actually, what I was gonna say was a little frustrating. Like I've gotten to the point where I've tried to go back and play certain games that are like older. Do you remember World in Conflict?
I never played it.
So it was a really, really good RTS game from back in the day. It came out, World in Conflict. The original came out in 2007. There was an expansion pack that came out like a year or so later, but it's about like an alternate like history Cold War thing where like the Soviet Union invades Europe and the US. Specifically, like they start like these all these container ships show up in Seattle, where everyone's like, "What the fuck?" and then Russian troops start offloading like AA units and like tanks and shit, and they start attacking, and it's cool just because it's like it's real-time strategy, but it's very contained. You're given a certain number of units and you have to overcome tactical objectives. But the coolest thing is you can call in like air support and shit. So like your troops will be engaging a target. You can call in like artillery and airstrikes. Like you can call in like B-52 cluster bombers. Like it's cool. And there's a really good story mission. And like there are these really neat like animated movies in between. And like it's narrated by Alec Baldwin. It's just really well done. And the other version that came out, the expansion pack, was called Soviet Assault, and it actually does it from the perspective of some of the Russian units. And it's interesting because you start as like these Spetsnaz units that infiltrate over the Berlin Wall, and they're like taking out guard posts on the other side, and then you play like one of the main armored columns literally going through the Berlin Wall, and the entire Soviet Air Force shows up, and you've got like Tu-95s and like Su-25s on like call or like stacked up. You could call like several in and just bomb the shit out of Germany and NATO forces. And it goes back and forth. And there's these really well done like character pieces. There's this like American tank commander who's like a total shit the entire game, but like he tries to redeem himself and finally does. And like it's super like honorable but depressing. There's this weird, actually kind of cool part where the Soviets are trying to invade this like thing on the West Coast that they think controls the Star Wars program, which I'm sure you're familiar with that. What that was supposed to be. Well, in the story, the Soviet Union thinks it's real because they don't know it's just propaganda. So they're trying to go to this little town in like Washington
Oh, it's made
State.
by Sierra. Okay, nice.
Yeah. Dude, no, great game. But like they go to invade this town because there's supposedly the command centers there. And NORAD is like, listen, as soon as they go there and they realize Star Wars isn't really a thing, they're going to start using tactical nukes. So you need to go there and you need to defend this town that otherwise doesn't fucking matter, because if they find out what's going on, the jig is up. So you have to go, and it's sad. The ironic part is that you actually have to nuke the town at the end, because the Soviets are just like, nope, they're like their entire force is going for it. So the idea is, all right, we're going to tactically nuke this small town as like scorched earth to show that we're that serious about defending it, even though secretly there's nothing here, but we can't let them know that. But it's just so good. And like the Soviet side too, like you start very like you do well in the war, and then as it goes on, like the main commander is just like, why the hell are we here? This is dumb. All the propaganda they told me about Americans is bullshit. Like I'm driving through farm after farm, and like I'm a farmer. These people are like brothers to me, and I'm being told we need to liberate them, and like I'm just not getting that. And it's so well done. It's so well
done. Did you ever play any of the War Game series?
War Game series? I don't think so.
Like War Game Airline Battle or like Crimson Dragon?
Oh, that yes. Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay. Is it similar to that?
It's very similar to that. It's not as micromanaging, I guess, like it kind of is. But I found like the scale of difficulty in like that was way higher. But it's very
War Game is very difficult.
It's like I remember a few multiplayer maps too, where it's just like, I mean, I don't know if you still play, but there were certain maps where it's just like the right helicopter rush at the right time at the right spot of the map, and you lose your entire reinforcement sector, and you're just fucked. You can't do anything.
Yeah, no, it was it's like I mean, I was barely good at StarCraft or Warcraft back in the day.
Command and Conquer, like
or CNC, yeah. And it like just takes or even Age of Empires, which I enjoy Age of Empires because it's so slow paced of a like real time strategy game. But I mean, I love the Total War series because like there's separate aspects of like the strategy versus the tactics component.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, if I'm just thinking about fucking strategy, that's great. And if I'm just thinking about tactics, that's great. Like I love learning tactics for different battles. That's where like Total War kind of comes in. But like, yeah, once you get past that Napoleonic era into, you know, this grand like strategy meeting tactics at the same time, because it's not it's like having to incorporate air battles and all this shit. Like it just gets
And
too
it gets
fucking
tricky.
complicated too quickly, and like the learning, like you said, the learning curve's way too high.
Mm-hmm. It is like when it works though, like when you're on a competent team and you're getting like a decent front going and it's like pretty evenly matched, it is fucking fun. Like it is like it's like you're having your own little like engagement like in this one area of the map, but like there's all of this shit going on around you. And like I usually would wind up trying to do support stuff, and either like, so it was Crimson Dragon, there was War Game, and then there was another one that was a little more recent. What was it? But I would usually try to do support. I
Warno.
Warno, yeah, that was it. And I would try to do support. I would do like I would run logistics, so I would do like supply helicopters or like supply convoys. And at the same time, I would do like anti-air. And I, of course, like I'm the dude who's like, oh, airstrikes. So I'll put some points into airstrikes and shit. But like, you got to be careful because like you can like buy like 5 planes and max out all your points. Just they'll all just get wiped within the first 5 minutes if you're stupid, and then you can't do anything the rest of the time. And sometimes they go on for hours. Like 1, 2. I think the longest map I ever went through was like close to 2 hours before there was
In
finally a resolution.
World of Conflict?
And either no,
Or
not World of Conflict, like War No.
oh, Warno. Okay, yeah,
They go
I
on.
never got Warno. I like Airland Battle just was
Yeah.
like too fucking uh like I understood it was fun. I I knew I could get good at it.
Mhm.
I just did not want to invest the time in getting good at
That's
it.
yeah, that's the thing. Like it's the having to invest the time. Like, is it worth it? Is there enough payoff? And ultimately, what I have found with those games is it's really not, because like it's unfortunately it's a pretty small community of people who are all kind of like one particular subset of the gaming community, and they're not nice usually.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
not that we're nice usually, sometimes too, like we try to be, but it's really like it's a lot of trash talk and like a lot of like there are some social elements in the game with like kicking players and voting for shit, and like some people will just be really fucking nasty about it, which makes it really strenuous when you're trying to keep a front alive and like you're successfully repelling an air invasion, but oh no, they're dropping off helicopter troops and nobody wants to come help you because they're having a fucking like fight over like this person's trying to kick this person, so the other person's trying to kick them, and it's just it's fucking gay, man. Just play the game. Video games.
Well, okay, we're closing in on the final
We
like 10
are.
minutes
Yeah.
here, maybe. Any other thoughts that we should share, topics that we should visit upon?
Yeah, I mean, there is one, I guess, large elephant in the room that everyone is probably expecting us to address, but I really.
Oh, it didn't come. Whatever.
Oh,
If people
oh no.
want to ask
Oh
something, it's
no,
fine.
I was
I
just
was
gonna say.
thinking about like I mean, so we talked a little Doge, we
Yeah.
talked a little like world politic, but like we didn't really address like there's the US and Russia are like reestablishing their
Yeah.
diplomatic missions in each other's country. Like I remember coming on this show like as the Ukraine fucking war was starting, and we made memes about like, or like we were
We're kidding out,
working
fucking yeah.
as Russian soldiers or whatever.
We take over
And
podcast. There's now property of Mother Russia.
and here we are like 2 years later. Like where do you see things going in the next like 2 to 4 weeks with that?
Honestly, 2 to 4 weeks, I don't know, because like they're putting a lot of pressure on Zelensky, and Trump is. I'm gonna go find the tweet Trump tweeted about Zelensky, because it's classic Trumpian tweeting. Trump Zelensky tweet, but I can see more talks happening. I don't really see an actual resolution coming out immediately. Excuse me, immediately. Here it is. Okay, Donald Trump tweet. Think of it. A modestly successful comedian, Volodymyr Zelensky, talked the United States of America into spending $350 billion to go into a war that couldn't be won, that never had to start, but a war that he, without the U.S. and Trump in all caps, will never be able to settle. The United States has spent $200 billion more than Europe, and Europe's money is guaranteed, while the United States will get nothing back. Why didn't sleepy Joe Biden demand equalization, and that this war is far more important to Europe than it is to us? We have a big, beautiful ocean of separation. On top of this, Zelensky.
It's a beautiful ocean.
It's the
the
best.
Atlantic
The
Ocean
Atlantic is the best
and
ocean.
the Pacific Ocean.
And the Pacific. They're the greatest oceans. They should be renamed.
Two big, beautiful oceans. The biggest oceans.
On top of this,
you wouldn't believe how big it is. It's
on,
almost half the Earth.
On top of this, Zelensky admits that half the money we sent him is missing, all caps. He refuses to have elections, is very low in Ukrainian polls, and the only thing he was good at was playing Biden like a fiddle. A dictator without elections, Zelensky better move fast or he is not going to have a country left. In the meantime, we are successfully negotiating an end to the war with Russia, something I'll admit only Trump, all again in all caps, and the Trump administration, not in caps, can do. Biden never tried. Europe has failed to bring peace, and Zelensky probably wants to keep the gravy train going. I love Ukraine, but Zelensky has done a terrible job. His country is shattered, and millions have unnecessarily died, and so it continues. So that's a huge.
Oh my goodness!
That's a huge tonal shift.
If I could write the Trump tweet to MAGA people about why this war needs to end, that's pretty much what I would write.
That's it, man. Yeah. But so Death Gelato also asked if we're hoping sanctions come down on Russia. I just want the price of
No, because the price of my Sega will go down.
Yes, you bastard. I was just about to say, I want the price of 762 by 39 to come down, man. I'm very glad I did not invest in a 545. I came very close a couple years ago to pick one up, and I was like, no, and I'm glad. But maybe now we'll see what happens. If they do nothing else but Tula gets special permission just to up their production and ship to us, and that's all that changes, I'm good with that. Give me that good Tula, that wolf.
Oh, you just want the ammo?
I want the ammo. I want that brown bear 196.
I am on Gunbroker right now. I just typed in Saiga.
Oh, let's go to Ammo Seek. You go to Gunbroker. I'll go to Ammo Seek.
Can I share my screen here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you?
Well, would you let me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Look at this fucking shit. Can you see it? Is it being displayed?
Oh my
Sega
Lord.
12 gauge starting bid.
Oh, it's not worth that.
7,688. Buy now price 12,888.
Oh well, if you want a 20 gauge right below it, there's that for 680, which is
honestly semi-auto 20 gauge.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
It's just fine.
It's a Saiga too, so it's decent. Russian Saiga AK-47 Legion. Izhvesk.
I don't know where the Legion comes in for this.
Izhvesk.
Okay.
Izhmash.
Saiga 308 1700. Okay. Arsenal, Legion, Saiga.
Arsenals 5, are not 5. Oh my god. Oh,
5,000.
I bought my Sam 7K for $1,000 in 2019.
Well, just because it has a Russian fucking receiver.
Oh my
barrel
god.
Or something.
So gay. That's
that's
like Meridian Defense AK pricing.
Oh, I don't know, but okay, let me look up Saiga 223 because this is what I got. But mine's kitted out to be an AK-101.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. Somebody did the same thing else as I did. 2,500. Okay.
Okay. So I'm looking. I'd say average price of 20 rounds on 7.62 by 3.9 on Ammo Seek right now. A lot of the hits are coming in around I'd say between $7 to $8 per 20 rounds, which comes out to, let's say, $7.50 divided by 20, about 38 cents a round. That's, I don't know. That's not terrible, I guess, considering how it has been. But I'm used to 7.62 being just fucking please, we'll pay you to take this out of our store, please. But
well, if the war really ends, it might take a few months to replenish the Russian stockpiles, right? Because they'll want to have full reserves or something like that, because they're remotely intelligent about their arms stockpiles. Which, by the way, as a skier, can I comment that fucking avalanche mitigation has gone to the fucking toilet?
Yeah.
In the U.S. And this isn't just skiing. This is Department of Transportation in California, U.S. or Utah, Wyoming, etc. They all use 105 millimeter artillery guns to do avalanche control by the highways. Okay, and like anytime there's a bad storm, they can't fucking control it anymore because literally all the shells got shipped to Ukraine in the last 2 years.
There was
And there's
also
no more fucking artillery shells to do avalanche control in these resorts. And actually, I make this a little more personal, but my out in California, they just had a ski patroller get buried in an avalanche because they couldn't do remote avalanche control. They had to instead of using the gun that was provided to them or that they bought to do avalanche control, they have to have patrollers go up with dynamite and drop, charges on the hills and then hand cut it and everything like that. This guy got buried, just last week and injured from it. And it's like, okay, I know it's like a relatively minor concern,
but it's
relative to like
preventable.
world
That's the
peace or
problem.
something like that.
It's preventable. It's easily
It's
preventable.
100% preventable. And like the U.S. always had like this surplus of artillery shells to give to ski resorts and departments of transportation to do avalanche control. And now like our roads are closed and our fucking people are getting injured or buried and shit like that because it doesn't.
I have a funny story about the avalanche control. So a couple of years ago, might have been more than a couple of years at this point, they were Sundance was doing some avalanche control with their 105, and I guess they overshot Mount Timpanogos a little bit, and they blew up some dude's.
They have that like so dialed in because it's a fixed gun that they fire year after year.
However, they blew up some dude's shed in on the other side of Timpanogos, it's Pleasant Grove, and some dude lost his shed. Which, to be fair, it's a miracle that was just a shed, like 105 millimeter shell landing in like Utah suburbs. Depending on where you go, some of them are pretty dense, and other ones, the more ritzy ones, are pretty like spread out. But like
that is like a 15-yard radius of just pure death.
Like anything in 15 yards, like you're just deleted. Like that's just you're done. Everything outside of that too, you're getting significant. Like you're probably going to be bleeding from all of your head holes. Like it's really uncomfortable. The overpressure is going to fuck you up still a little bit. Like also whatever gets kicked up is going to fly in the air. And it's just really lucky it was just his shed. Like I honestly, whenever I read the article about it, I'm just like, wow, how lucky.
Was like the meteorite. Oh, we never discussed this, and I want to go on Frank's
podcast. That's right.
This.
The meteorite that's hopefully going to hit India.
Well, it's really more like an asteroid.
Oh, okay. It's supposed to go over India, man. Let's fingers crossed, dude. Like
thoughts and prayers, right?
Thoughts and prayers, inshallah.
It seems ill-timed given that festival where there's like 450 million people trying to bathe in the Ganges simultaneously.
Oh man,
have you seen this?
I have seen this. I'm familiar with the practice, and oh god.
I want somebody to take like the drone footage of them flying over it and add the music from Blade Runner 2049. I think honestly, this has been an idea I've had for a minute, and I just need to like sit down and make it happen, like with my own video editing skills. But it is visibly like the most horrible ecological disaster I've seen in like modern times. Like I think Chernobyl was literally less destructive than this.
Well, there was actually an effort to clean up after Chernobyl. With this, it just keeps going. Like that's the problem. With Chernobyl, it's like this is a problem. With this, it's just if we ignore it, it'll just go away eventually. Maybe. No? Oh well.
So Soviets cleaning up like half-heartedly cleaning up like a radioactive meltdown in a reactor in a country that they don't even really care that much about, like did like 10 times a better job.
Yeah, man. Ugh. That's
okay. No, okay. I'll make that meme when I get a minute of the Blade Runner 2049 music. flying over 500 million people trying to simultaneously bathe in the Ganges.
Ugh. I'll be looking forward to that. But is there anything else we want to go over? We got the asteroid a little bit.
No, it'll be fun to talk to Frank about it. It's already fucking Thursday, so I guess I ran out of time to talk to him about it this week. They did downgrade the chances of collision.
It's like what is it, like 3.2% chance or something?
It was 3, and they downgraded it to like 1.7.
Oh, whatever. That's gonna be our new fucking doomsday clock. Asteroid now is a 4%. Now it's a 1%. 2, 3,
It's just 100% like not the U.S.'s problem.
Yeah.
Like we know if it were to hit the Earth, exactly where it would hit, right? And so it's like the U.S. It's like, okay, you could pay us maybe, and we could redirect it. The U.S. NASA has the only proven asteroid redirect technology on Earth right now.
Isn't it just detonating nuclear devices like a certain distance?
No. We did it was called the dual asteroid redirection test, where they basically did a kinetic impactor to give it a little bump and change the orbit of an asteroid. So no nukes involved. You just give it a little.
Was that the same one where it had like the real close-up footage of like the asteroid surface and stuff that was coming in? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a big talus field, basically. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah. All right, so cool.
No, so I think we could even we should do a cost benefit analysis whether it's worth just letting it hit, or if we want to have India pay us like $5 trillion to redirect it.
Yeah.
Or they could attempt to do it themselves and then blow up like 17 rockets in the process.
That'd be hilarious.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Any other closing thoughts?
No, I don't really got anything. Like we did discuss before the show, if somebody had mentioned it, we would discuss it. But of course, the thing everyone is waiting for us to comment on, we're just really not going to. Like, all we really have to say is go fuck yourselves, and the show will go on. And too bad.
Ask me about it. Go fuck yourself.
Exactly. Get a hobby. Touch some grass. Learn to code. Go out. Talk to people. Like, it's getting warmer. The sun is setting later. Hours are about to skip forward. Just fucking get on with your life. All right? All right. So, other than that, I think that'll do it for us. I mean, I'm sure whether we do it next week or the week after, there'll be lots of shit to talk about, because it's just every day it's something new, and it's like somebody just it's like there's a bingo machine with a bunch of balls on it that a bunch of libertarians just wrote a bunch of random shit on. And like every day Trump just reaches in and Tulsi Gabbard is head of national intelligence. Rumble, rumble, rumble. RFK Jr. is head of health and human services. Like, it's just every day. Pardon Ross Albright. Like, it's just it's just great. Like, I could totally do 4 years of this.
On the RFK thing, like, people are talking about like it's not libertarian to ban pharma ads on TV. I don't fucking care.
I don't. We're the only, like, one of 2 countries that allows that shit. Like, come on, man. Like, all right, we're anarchists. Maybe we shouldn't be talking about. Who gives a shit, dude?
I might be an anarchist. Starve fucking CNN and NBC.
Yeah, dude.
Pharma ad money for that.
Death to legacy media. Death to legacy media. Please. No more.
USAID was like 55% of their funding, and then like pharma is like another 35%. Okay.
We could buy CNN. CNN, owned by the Ultra Podcast, has a really nice ring to it. Well, ladies and gentlemen. That's a good closing note. That is a good closing one. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this lovely episode. We had 16 viewers tonight, so I guess we're getting a little more popular as we live more and more in certain people's heads rent-free. But for those of you who have been tuning in regularly throughout the years and who've supported us, and as through all of the technical glitches and bye weeks and episodes that weren't so hot and episodes that were great, and hosts that have gone up to shit and hosts that we have unfortunately lost to certain things, which it's another thing. Next week will be the 1-year anniversary of our other co-host, Flo, passing. If anybody wants to mark that, I'll be lighting a candle, but Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, we're just grateful to have you here. We're grateful that you come to hang out with us because we know we could be doing this a little more seriously, but it's not. I don't know. It's for us. It's for me. It's for Max. It's for Matt, and it's for you guys. And that's really what it's all about. So again, thank you very much. Here's to you. We hope you'll join us again and again and again. And always, as always, never forget, taxation is theft.